Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. Hopefully, you all are doing very good. Today, I want to go through the list of the layer 2 cryptos that we have on CoinMarketCap, just to see which ones are sitting at more or less good buying prices, which ones I'd start looking into. Maybe you have your suggestions as to which layer 2s you want me to take a look at. There's a huge list here, obviously. And the bottom one is sitting at rank number 9,732, Hyper Network. And then, of course, if we go up the list, we have Polygon Matic sitting at the number 1 spot, Arbitrum, Mantle, Immutable, IMX, Optimism, Starknet, ZK Sync, Avo, Blast, Manta Network, which is something that we own. So we'll go through all of them one by one. In the meantime, we have a few people joining in. Hey there, guys. Hello, Elorum. As always, feel free to check out the Patreon that's linked down below in the description. There's a 7-day free trial with access to all of my content instantly. You can take a look at my portfolios, take a look at the trade alerts, at the low caps that we're covering there, and see for yourself if you enjoy that community. But let's quickly dive into Bitcoin, because last week we looked at Bitcoin and I did give you this block here between $58,500 to $56,500. And it's based on this retracement that we had back in May/April 2024. And we came back down to that block and we wicked into that area. So what we could be looking at here is a nice double bottom pattern. So for that, we'd need to close the candles at around about $59,000 to $60,000. We do not want to be dropping below that for a double bottom pattern, because if we do lose that, well, we're essentially going into a short-term downtrend, hopefully short-term. If we switch over to the weekly chart, you can see we are wicking towards that block, and right now we are below the 20 EMA, which is slightly negative, right? We don't want to be below the 20 EMA. That's your support band. However, on the monthly chart, if you take a look at the monthly, the 20 EMA is all the way down here at 40, 45, $44,500. So I'm not saying we're going to come back down to $45,000. I'm just saying that we're quite above the 20 EMA. So maybe for the next few months, we'll have to wait until the EMA catches up with us while we consolidate, hopefully, above $60,000. And from there, we can have our next leg up, that one final fifth leg of this bull market. And then if we go back to the weekly, just real quick, we do, like in a good scenario, in a bullish scenario, we would close the candle above the 20 EMA. So we still have a day or so until the candle closes, around 28 hours. Until that happens, we can dip as low as we want to, but as long as we close the candle above the 20 EMA, we're golden. Now, if we don't, that's not going to be the best scenario for us to be in. However, that's not the end of the world. So we might end up hitting our head on the 20 EMA for a bit, and subsequently on the monthly chart, we're going to be coming back down as well towards that 20 EMA. But on this chart, I don't have the 55, unfortunately, with me right now. So I can't show you the 55 EMA, but if you pull out the 55 EMA, that's going to be your next support, essentially. And I'm stuck with Arbitrum. Where did you buy in, my friend? Sahad, where did you buy into Arbitrum? We'll take a look at Arbitrum. Obviously, that's one of the top layer 2s on Ethereum. So we'll definitely give Arbitrum a look. So in the meantime, you can start sending in your altcoin requests, and I'll go through the list here. We'll start pulling out some of the layer 2s just to see which ones are sitting at good buying prices. We can actually start with Manta. I believe we covered Manta in the previous In the previous live stream, we got a request for that. If we take a look at the daily chart for Manta, you can see that we are sitting at the 2.272 Fibonacci retracement level here, which is quite far away from the 1.618 there. And then from the top in March, we are down approximately 77%. So by all means, this is a really good buying opportunity. We can even open up Manta here on CoinMarketCap. So 332, oh, what? I'm not sure what's going on with CoinMarketCap. It's not behaving the way it should be. So $330 million market cap. This is a good mid-cap project there with 33-ish% of the total supply out in circulation. What also... Okay, I also want to take a look at token unlocks to see if they have a schedule for Manta. There we go. Okay, so the upcoming event is going to be in 1 day, 3 hours. That's like the next unlock. So if we go to this schedule here, you can see that there will be token dilution. So let's see, right now we're sitting at 334 million tokens. And by the end of the year, we're going to be sitting at roughly 380 million tokens, which is not a lot. So from February 2025, the dilution is going to take off. It's going to get insane from there, and even crazier. Well, actually, no. From 2028, it's going to cool down a bit, but there will be like a powerful, emission of tokens for like 4 years or 3 years. So you still have some time until February 2025. After that, I'd probably get out of the project because I don't want to, sit in a bear market with a token that's going to get destroyed by the emissions. Okay. So that's what we have for Manta. If we jump into, let's take a look at Polygon. Polygon is something that I own, obviously. It's a no-brainer, $5.4 billion market cap, and the all-time high prices are sitting at $2.76. Let's switch over to Polygon. Okay, so we are back in this yellow block between 58.5 cents down to 53 cents. So a very good buying opportunity. We are holding this September/October 2023 low, which is very important. We want to hold this in order for us to remain bullish. Because if we lose this low, then we are in a massive downtrend here. Massive downtrend. But we do not want to lose that. And again, we could look at a potential double bottom pattern here. That would be a nice, as long as we close the candle above 53 cents, we're looking at a nice double bottom pattern. But very good buying opportunities right now for Polygon holders. If you want to, bring down that average buying price, you can do that, especially if you were buying during this 2021 massive pump. If your average is above $1.70, $1.60, you definitely want to be topping up your bag with coins below 60 cents. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. Of course, we're not going to be looking at a potential 100x here. I would say $5 to $7 is likely for Polygon Matic during this bull market. So manage your expectation. As always, we're always trying to be conservative here on the channel. And then if a project does more than we expect, that's great. But we don't expect more, because if you expect more and the project doesn't meet your expectation, you're going to not only be very sad about it, takes an emotional toll, but you're also going to be losing money because you're going to be sitting in a bear market for multiple years waiting for your project to start recovering. Okay, so that's Polygon Matic. So if we're looking, let's say, at a 10x from here, that would put us at a $50 billion market cap, $5.5. Pretty doable in my opinion. And then, of course, we can take a look at other targets, right? If we have, let's say, the 1.414 here. If we take a look at this fib extension, we have $6.71, and then we have $10.15 as our 1.618. So the first target obviously would be the minimal target, which is the 1.272. Then we have the 1.414 at $6.70, and then $10 essentially for the 1.618. Can we get to $10? That'll be interesting to see. For that, we do have to start breaking above our February 2023 high in 2024, essentially. Because if by the end of the year we're still hovering somewhere around $1.30, then things aren't looking so good for Polygon Matic. But if closer to the end of the year we're breaking above the all-time high prices, then we have more chances of getting to $10. So it depends on the time frames as well. If your project is not doing as well as you thought it would be, and Bitcoin's already past $100,000, you have to readjust your strategy, and you have to potentially think about taking profits earlier and maybe leaving 10-15% of your bag for a potential move to the upside down the line. But you do want to be securing those profits along the during the next wave, essentially, that we're going to have during the next alt season, because if you don't, there's a good chance you're gonna miss out on selling some coins, and you're gonna ride them down with the next bear market. It happens every time, and I'm just letting you know that it's gonna happen to you unless you start taking profits. Of course, none of this is financial advice. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. Next up, we have Arbitrum. Let's take a look at Arbitrum. So $2.5 billion market cap. And we have a 3.2 billion token circulation. Let's see if we have any info on Arbitrum here. Okay, so we have the next unlock in 16 days. So 30% is unlocked, 35% is locked. So you can see there is an incline here. It's not as drastic as I thought it would be. But if we're looking at January 2025 here, so available supply sitting at 7 billion. Okay, so we're going to be sitting at 3.8 billion tokens. Right now we're sitting at 3 billion tokens. It's not the end of the world. It's not, as long as there is demand, that should outweigh the token dilution. And then in 2027, we're going to be sitting at total supply out. And then, of course, there is like this 35% that's locked. Let's jump into the charts for Arbitrum. Okay, wow, we're coming back down to the same low that we were retesting in September 2023. So we're hopefully coming back for a double bottom pattern. Otherwise, we could be looking for a move to the downside, and I'll give you the targets to the downside in just a second. So again, if you bought in high, if you bought in at these highs, essentially at $2, you want to be buying tokens here, because then your average is going to go down. You want your average to come back down as much as possible before the next leg up, so that when we start pumping, once you pass your average, you'll start making profit. But if your average is all the way here, then you'll have to wait for longer in order to start making money. That's just basic logic. And I know it's not apparent to anyone or to everyone who's entering the crypto markets. It wasn't apparent to me when I got into crypto. So now I'm trying to relay that to you in a very digestible way. You buy high, it drops, buy more. Simple as that. Of course, don't go all in. You shouldn't be going all in. Never into any coin. That's unhealthy. That's very risky. That's not smart to do at all. Now, let's say we drop below 79 cents here. You're going to be looking at these three extension levels as your targets in case of a black swan, in case Bitcoin continues dumping and Arbitrum follows through with the entire altcoin market. You're looking at 61 cents, 61.5, 53.5, and then 44 cents. Those are going to be your 3 targets to the downside for Arbitrum in case we lose this September 2023 low. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just giving you the targets. Simple as that. These are your potential targets. Now, if we start breaking above this local top from February 2024, you're looking at $2.76. Actually, no, slightly wrong. So we got to the 1.272 here. What we want to be doing is we want to flip this like that. And you're going to be looking at $3.75 as your 1.618 target. So as long as you start breaking above $2, you'll have a nice target to the upside. Can Arbitrum do that? I'm pretty certain it can. Like a good 10x for Arbitrum is possible. So let's say $7-ish. That's going to be our 2.272 here by the end of the bull market is possible. So if you bought in high, you don't have any money to buy in right now. That's fine. We all have our different situations. Just be patient. Just wait. When you have a chance, just throw in a couple of bucks, and that's the best advice that I could give you. And hopefully you learn from this experience and you won't be buying at, these high prices at $2 when you're having a rally, when you're so overextended from the weekly 20 MA. These are the times when you want to be buying. And back in September 2023 is when you should have been buying. If we look at the RSI here, we're back at the same levels as we were back in 2023. So it's looking really good at the moment. So hopefully that covers Arbitrum for you, my friend. Optimism and LDO. We're going to take a look at Optimism. We can actually do that right now. We'll take a look at Optimism right now. So Optimism sitting at a $1.9 billion market cap. And what I like about CoinMarketCap now, they started adding these events. So this is when the Optimism distributes the second airdrop. WorldCoin chooses Optimism. SEC closes ETH 2.0 investigation. And drops enforcement action. Okay. Let's go to Optimism. Okay, so we lost this yellow support trend line that we've had since October 2022. This was our ascending support trend line. And now we're breaking below it. So let's see what other levels we can eyeball here. So definitely this low over here is very important. And we're actually bouncing off of it. That's $1.75-ish cents or $1.70. So why is it important is because we ran into it as resistance back in August 2023. Then we broke above it in November 2023, back tested it as support, had a bounce, printed this new all-time high price in March 2024. Now we're coming back down. We're landing on that exact same level again. So we're essentially double confirming that this is now our support at $1.70. This is a great buying opportunity for anyone who's looking to dollar cost average into Optimism. And if you're still hoping for these December 2022 prices, I would say you can hope, you can set up those buy limit orders down there. Are there good chances we're going to come back down to 70 cents? I don't think so, to be honest with you. But we do have this support block outlining that area there. So I think that was set up on the daily chart. That's why it looks a bit weird here. But essentially between $1 to 75 cents, you have a really, really good area to dollar cost average into Optimism if we end up dropping down that low. If we end up coming back down that low. And that would only happen if we have a black swan or a massive correction across the entire market. And we can even add another level there based on this June 2023 local bottom. That's sitting at $1.10 essentially. So we had a nice bounce from there. That was our resistance previously in November 2022. So a very similar situation here. So you have a resistance level, you break above it, come back down, retest it as support, and you start printing a higher low and a higher high. Then the same thing happens here. You ran into that resistance, come back down, break above it, back test as support, and then off you go. Very, very similar. So the chart is looking healthy for optimism. Not gonna lie, looks better than a lot of the top altcoins, the blue chip altcoins, you could say. Taking a look at the RSI, we're even below our June 2023 levels. So again, great buying opportunity for optimism holders if you're looking to dollar cost average into the project, bring down that average price as much as possible. Let's take a look at the unlocks here for optimism. So the circulating supply is sitting at 26%. We have a max supply of 4.3 billion tokens. Let's take a look at the unlock schedule here. Okay, yeah, it's not going to be as significant. Yeah, it's not going to be as significant as the other projects that we looked at earlier. So Optimus is actually pretty good in terms of their tokenomics. And then, of course, they could have governance votes for some unlocks. So unlock schedules of allocations such as retro GPF, governance, seed, partner, and ecosystem fund are subject to governance votes. So if they decide to have a governance vote on some token unlocks, they could do that. And if it gets approved, then there will be an additional unlock. But it looks good. Looks good. Where'd you get into optimism, my friend? Elorm, we already looked at Manta, so you can scroll back to the start of the live stream. We looked at Manta. That was the first. That was the first token we covered. Thank you all for joining. LDO and RPL, liquid staking coins of Ethereum. I haven't dabbled with liquid staking a lot, and I know that it's very, very risky. Isn't that where it's essentially a pyramid of staking, where you stake your staked tokens for more staked tokens, and it's just like an unending chain of staked tokens being staked? 1.7 billion is a decentralized autonomous organization who provides staking infrastructure for multiple blockchain networks. And they do have their token unlock schedule here. Founders got 16.8%. And let's see. Is that pretty much the entire supply out? Let's take a look at token unlocks. Yeah, 100% of the tokens are unlocked. Great. We've reached the maximum supply, and there won't be any token dilutions now, which is great for the price, which is great for the holders. Let's take a look at LDO on TradingView. Similar to Optimism here in a way. Pretty similar to Optimism. Massive resistance block above us. Between $3.12 to $4. Pretty strong resistance level there. We back tested it back in August 2022, March 2023, and then a double top here in January, February 2024. So we have a nice bottom here in September 2023. You could be targeting that for an entry at $1.45. That's going to be a really good entry point. Now, in case we do lose the September low from last year, you do have a few extension levels to the downside. These are going to be your targets to the downside if you lose $1.47. The RSI is quite low. Yeah, most altcoins are looking like they're good to buy at the moment. Some of them obviously not so much. Like personally, I wouldn't be buying Solana right now. Not worth it in my opinion with the rally that it's had. But all of these altcoins that we just looked at in the past 20 minutes, they're looking good to buy. Matic, we looked at Matic at the early stages of the live stream, so feel free to go back and revisit the beginning of the live stream. We looked at Manta already. We looked at Arbitrum. We looked at Optimism. We looked at Manta. What else did we look at? We looked at a few of them. Okay, let's go back to the Layer-2s. Let's take a look at Mantle. Let's take a look at Mantle. So 52% out in circulation. $2.5 billion market cap. Let's go to token unlocks. 51% is unlocked. Okay, so they're only doing governance voting on token unlocks from what I can see. So no unlocks planned as of right now. 49% is locked. So TBD locked refers to the amount of tokens that have not yet been assigned a release timing. These tokens are usually set aside for specific purposes and are released when certain conditions are met, such as treasury or reserves, which is great. So again, tokenomics are looking good here for Mantle. Let's take a look at the chart. Mantle isn't listed on Binance? Oh, they're not. Interesting. KuCoin, Gate, Bybit. Interesting. Okay, let's go to Mantle. Let's go to the daily chart. So immediately here, you can see a nice area that is going to be acting as support moving forward based on these touches from 2024 at the start of the year, as you can see. Multiple back tests of resistance at first, and then we had a back test of support in March. And once again, we're coming back down to this block in June. So between 80 cents down to 72.5 cents, that's a massive support level for us. Hopefully we don't end up losing that. If we do, we'll take a look at the targets right now. If we do, you have an immediate target below at 69.5 cents. And you'd also have a target at 66, 60 cents, and then 52.5 cents. That would be the 1.618 there, which again, we've already technically lost the 79 cents low from March 2024. So technically speaking, we're already targeting these levels here. So your minimal target is going to be 66 cents for now. So we could have a wick like we usually do with altcoins. You have a massive wick, quick recovery, and then you close the candles in the block. That would be a really good thing for Mantle to do. And let's see how low they dropped. $1.50, around 52%, not as much as some of the other altcoins dropped. And then we were in the oversold just recently. The last time we were in the oversold was October 2023. But overall, the chart is looking pretty healthy. Even if we end up coming back down to 52 cents, which I don't think we will, but even if we did, it's still a higher low. So even if we went down this low, you're still good for continuation with the next leg up of the bull market. Do you think Manta is possible to reach $20 billion market cap? 20 billion would be a bit too much, I think. We'll see how they do. We'll see how they do with the next leg up. If Polkadot gets a lot of eyes and attention because of the Polkadot 2.0 update, then yes, it's possible. But as of right now, I'd be more conservative with Manta. Let's go back to the chart real quick. So let's pull out the chart and let's set some targets to the upside. Well, we can't realistically do it right now, but let's assume that this is our low and we're not going to be dropping any lower. Okay, so $6.14 would be a 6x from the current values. That will put us at roughly $1.9 billion per market cap. Then you're looking at $10, which is a 10x from the current values. That would put us at roughly a $3 billion market cap. So I would say that's what I'm going to be targeting for now. And then if we manage to get to all of these targets very quickly in 2024, early 2025, we'll look at what Bitcoin does. We'll look at when the Fed starts cutting interest rates, and then we'll be able to see if we can target something like $18 to $19. Okay, so let's see if we can reverse this downtrend first, and then we'll start talking about the other targets to the upside, because as of right now, we need to find a bottom. We need to start breaking above resistance levels, which the first one would be at $1.87. That would be the first major one, so to speak. No problem. Okay, let's take a look at one last layer 2, and then we'll go through your requests. Let's pick something that's lower on the list. LRC, we've covered LRC multiple times. All right, let's do LRC, because I know some people in my community do have LRC, so we'll take a look at the token. Okay, this is the September 2023 low. Again, we're coming back down to that exact same low, which from the few layer 2s that we looked at, which is very popular amongst them, you can see they're coming back down to their September/October lows, potentially getting ready for a double bottom pattern and then a continuation. Hopefully that's what we're looking at. But since August 2022, we have been in this massive sideways channel. So once we're able to break above it, I do think there's going to be a pretty strong impulsive move to the upside, like we saw with Chainlink, like we saw with Bitcoin Cash. We've predicted that for both those coins because it was very apparent, especially with Chainlink. So if we manage to break out of this sideways channel, then we're going to be looking at a nice move. Let's say, sitting at 17, I'd probably say we'd go to the golden ratio immediately from that explosion there, because that's a pretty significant resistance based on these previous touches and based on the fib as well. And then if you're looking for a short to mid-term trade with LRC, you could look at the 0.382 Fibonacci level at 51 cents. That rejected us rejected us multiple times in 2022, in 2023, and once again in 2024. And then every time you come back down to this bottom, you have a move to the upside from there. And once again, we're back at this bottom. And it looks like we're going to have a move to the upside from there. If you look at the RSI, every time we're down in this area around 35 on the RSI index, that usually signals a local bottom. So we'll see what LRC does, but it's still looking pretty good. We are printing a higher low in compared to the low from February 2020. We're creating a massive support level here as well, between 18 or 19 cents down to 14.5 cents based on all of these retracements. So we had a retracement here in November 2020, an explosion from there. We had a few wicks down here in July 2021, explosion from there. And then more or less, smaller explosions in the previous year and 2022 and 2023. So right now it's accumulating time for LRC as well. Let's take a look at the market cap. Okay. 1.3 billion, $233 million market cap, which is not bad. And they don't have loop ring. Yeah, okay. Yep, they don't have loop ring here. Okay, let's take a look at Metis. Which is also a layer 2. $264 million market cap. 10 million total supply, 56% out in circulation. And this is available on Binance. The market cap is pretty low, not gonna lie. 74% unlocked. So here it says 74% is unlocked. And then you have your token dilution. So by the end of the year, we're going to go up, an insignificant amount in terms of token emission. But by 2031, in 7 years, we're going to be sitting at the total supply being unlocked, fully unlocked. So the tokenomics are looking pretty good here for Metis. Doesn't look like they're going to get destroyed. As you can see, there is a bit of a token dilution in terms of, if you look at the market cap, for example, you can see that we have printed a new all-time high, but we haven't printed a new all-time high in terms of the price action. Right? So last time we were sitting at 631 million, and that took us to $300. But right now we were sitting at 700 million, and that only took us as high as $140. So that's important to keep in mind. You're not going to get back to all of your previous all-time high prices with all of the coins necessarily. Even though the market caps may break all-time highs, the prices, some of the tokens won't have their prices go past the all-time highs because of the token dilution. And that's something important to understand. A lot of people coming into the markets don't understand that because they don't know what tokens are. They don't know what vesting schedules are. They don't know any of that. So it's always important to look at the unlock schedule before you start buying into something, okay? You don't want to buy something that's going to have like a 50% unlock in a few days because you're just going to get dumped by everyone. And then again, when there is a token unlock, it's not guaranteed that everyone is going to be selling on that day. So for example, if the team gets a certain percentage of tokens unlocked on a certain date, that doesn't mean that they will necessarily be selling all of those tokens. Some of them may because they want to take some profits, but some of them just end up holding the tokens. The same goes for the investors, for the marketing team, or whoever else gets the tokens, as a reward or as a sort of a payment. Okay, let's go through alt layer. Let's take a look at alt layer. I believe we looked at this one before. Yes. Token unlocks. Okay, there we go. So team got 15%. 18.9% is unlocked. And then, wow, they have a pretty aggressive vesting schedule here. So by the end of the year, we're going to be sitting at, it doesn't give the full list, huh? Let's do Alt. There we go. 16% unlocked. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is going to be more than a 2x by the end of the year. So the circulating supply is going to increase 2 times. It's going to go up by a 2x by the end of the year. So then you have to decide for yourself whether you want to be buying into something like that. Again, I'm not saying everyone's going to be selling. You'll have a lot of selling pressure, but the fact that there will be more tokens means the price is it's going to be harder for the price to start going up. That's why I would avoid something like Alt Layer, and I'd probably go for something like Metis or Optimism that we just looked at. Those have way better tokenomics. Okay, let's see if I missed any. Crypto Princess, alaikum salam. Can you please check TET? We can check that for sure. I think you really like the project, huh? Or you probably invested a good amount into it because you ask for it every week. 7.7. Okay, it looks like it's retesting its lows there. Okay, so we're losing this purple block, which was a massive support area for us, between $13 down to $9.50. We've lost that now. We even came back up and retested it as a resistance. And now we're on our way back down to this green block. So that's set up between $7.20 down to $6.20. And it's based on this touch here that we had in September 2023 and in October 2023. And then that we can actually bring down just by a bit. So it's actually between $7 to $6.20. However, this doesn't mean that you should be waiting until we get down to those prices, because right now we're sitting at a very good buying opportunity. The prices are looking good, especially if you've been buying above $20, above $30. This is a good chance for you to bring down that average buying price, of course, as long as you're bullish on the project. If you're not bullish on the project, you shouldn't be buying into it, right? That goes without saying. And you can clearly see how the 20 EMA on the daily is acting as a resistance. You keep hitting it every time you come up, which goes to show once we break above it, that's going to be a bullish sign. So until that happens, you have some good, probably a few more weeks to buy in at those lower prices. Maybe we have a dip sometime in July, who knows? But you should always have some dry powder on the side, because you never know when a crash can occur, when a black swan event can occur, and you definitely want to be buying, and you definitely want to be taking advantage of those, of those events, because people that bought in back in, and I keep bringing this example up, if you go to March 2020, you take a look at ADA's chart. I mean, imagine buying this. Imagine buying ADA at 2 cents. Just crazy. So in terms of Tectum, it's looking like it's a very good buying price right now. It's retesting its lows from way back in November 2023. So definitely a buy in my opinion. And this is available on gate.io, MEXC, BitGet, BingX, Bitmart. Can you please check Near and Render? We're going to do a separate video for Near protocol. So I'm not going to cover Near in this live stream, but we will take a look at Render. I have 500 TED tokens. Buy average is $15. Well, if I was in your situation and I had some dry powder, I'd probably be dollar cost averaging into it. I'm solid on Layerium and L2 that runs any EVM chain under 1 million market cap, no VC, so no volume yet. Layerium. Okay, let's see what that's all about. Entire supply is out. Okay. They had a peak back in August 2023, and they're only available on MEXC. It's a Binance Smart Chain project. I'm not sure if this is a legit project or not. Yeah, they're... Why is their website not working? That's weird. Some partnerships. Is the team docs for this? Partners with Loop Network. It's legit. I'm gonna save it to my watch list. I'll take a look at it later on. But for anyone watching, if it's a low market cap, if it's a new project, if it's still in development, obviously it's riskier getting into this than getting into something like Render or Near protocol. But I'll take a look at it. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you for the suggestion, Troy. Okay, let's take a look at Render. I missed out on Render, so I don't have any Render tokens. Let's see what's going on here. So we covered it in the last live stream, if I'm not mistaken. What we're looking for right now is that wave 3 bottom to play out. And once we have that done, or sorry, wave 4 bottom, once we have that done, we're going to be looking for that wave 5. And that may take us, we're looking at potentially $40 there per token by the end of the bull market, if not higher than that. You can clearly see a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one is incoming. Is this a good time to be buying? Depends on your expectation of the project. Because if you're expecting a 20x, I would say that's probably not going to happen. That would put us at like a $42 billion market cap. Is Render going to sit at a $42 billion market cap? I don't know. I can't look into the future, but I wouldn't expect it to. Just my opinion. A $40 price per token looks very possible. That's only a 6x from the current values. That would put us at roughly $27 billion, which is not bad, right? If let's round this up to 3 billion, right? Actually, no, not sorry, that would be $18 billion. Around $18 billion, which is a lot more doable than 140 or $50 billion. And again, depends on where you entered. If you entered way down here at 12 cents, then of course you're going to be looking at massive gains, especially if you wait for a bit more and you sell above 20 bucks. It's going to be incredible for you. If you're looking to get into render for a short to midterm trade, or you're looking to ride it until the end of the bull market, sure, you can do that. Right now, we are sitting at good buying prices because this is our top from November 2021. We've essentially come back down to retest it as support in May and once again in June 2024. Are we going to break down? I don't know. If we break down below $7, you could potentially be looking at this local top from December 2021. That's between $5.30 all the way up to like $6 or so. Yeah, and again, our previous low is all the way down here at $1.50. So even if we dump down to $3.80, which would be an amazing buying opportunity, we're still going to be bullish long term because you're still printing a higher low. And keep in mind, you do not want to be breaking below the wave 1 top with your wave 4. So if your wave 4 goes below the wave 1 high, then that means this entire structure is invalidated. So the wave 4 bottom has to be somewhere above the wave 1 high for this to be a valid Elliott wave count. So let's say between $5 to $3.78, that would be a massive buying opportunity for anyone looking to get into render. Anything above that is, I probably wouldn't be buying render right now. I don't have any render too, so. So back to Layerium. So not docs, but the team for the L1 loop worked on Ethereum 2.0. For now, I agree, looks bad. Thanks for looking, been subbed for a while now. No problem. Well, it doesn't necessarily look bad, right? It doesn't look bad yet, because if the team is not doxed, then that doesn't mean it's a bad project. However, the fact that the website is not working, that's a red flag for sure. And I'd love to see more updates on Twitter from them and be more transparent. If the team would show themselves, that'd be much better in terms of me gaining trust or them gaining my trust. Elon Starship meme on Solana. Hello, have you heard of Weeks Exchange? It is a scam and it is being promoted by the same big influencers. The deposits never show up and nobody answers from their support. Well, this could be a good project to take a look at right now, because if indeed it is a scam, spot trading 219 million. Who is it being promoted by? Yeah, when you join and it gives you that sort of deal at the start, that's not good. I mean, from the looks of it, doesn't scream scammy. I don't know. Do you guys have any idea about this exchange and what the other person is saying about it? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. Actually, since we're talking about scams, let me show you a scammer in case you are involved with this YouTuber. So this is Ren Invest, a person that lies to his subscribers and then steals their crypto coins, tries to create wallets with his subscribers and gains access to the wallet and essentially just pretends that they have been scammed by someone. So be very careful getting in contact with this person. He doesn't show his face, obviously, and yeah, just not a good human being. So avoid this channel at all costs. And if anyone you know is watching him, make sure to alert them. I deposited Solana and BNB and nothing's showing up. Yeah, that's definitely a scam. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend, but thank you for letting us know. If anyone watching has been in contact with Weeks or tried to set up an account there, probably don't do that. Thank for your render, T. I appreciate it. No problem, my friend. Yeah, Near should come out. Like we at the end of the week, we try to do Near, Polkadot, Cosmos, and what else do we cover on the weekends? I forget. I have a list of coins per day that way it's easier for me to know which day which coin am I supposed to cover. But for weekends, yeah, it's Dot, Atom, Near. I think CRO we do sometimes. No problem, KR. Yeah, so I guess avoid the Weeks exchange. Avoid the Weeks exchange. Now we're starting to cover exchanges on Patreon as well. Once again, for those of you who have recently joined, we do have a Patreon with the link down below in the description, and you have a 7-day trial to take a look at everything on my Patreon since the inception back in October 2021. So all of my trade alerts, all of the exclusive podcasts, all of the portfolios that we have, all of the low caps that we cover, all of the resources that I share with my patrons. It's a nice community of around 60 people, and there are a lot of people who have been investing in crypto for years. So lots of useful tips and experiences are being shared in the Telegram chat there. So feel free to check that out. It's either a scam or a fake is around from a quick search. Would avoid either way, better and safer out there. Exactly. There are better exchanges out there. Why would you use some weird exchange, when you can go and do like Binance, crypto.com? Recently, I started using OKX, and it's a really nice exchange, a lot smoother than KuCoin and Gate.io. It's 5th by volume, and KuCoin is like at 15, I believe. Yeah, ranked 15 or something. So definitely don't go around signing up for random exchanges, because it's going to end up badly. And this doesn't have to be said because it's very obvious, but still, if anyone sends you any links, if anyone pretends to be me on Discord or on Telegram and sends you links, then that's not me. Never open any links from anyone, and never give your secret phrases from your cold wallets to anyone as well, because even experienced people get scammed, and it's very, very annoying. And I've been in that situation. So just be careful out there. And yeah, it's always good to share all of these scammy projects and all these scammy YouTubers that try to lie their way into stealing your money, like this person that I just shared with you, Ren Invest. Yep. Because it was promoted by a big influencer, my financial friend. Well, I mean, yeah, that is true. If you believe a YouTuber and then he promotes something, then obviously you're gonna end up buying it. But let's see, my financial friend. Wow, this guy looks like a. I mean, I know I've been on in the crypto space for longer than some people, but when I see a channel that uses the same face on literally every thumbnail, and he does this weird crypto face. Yeah. So this is like minimal effort. My thumbnails aren't the best, obviously, but I'm just saying this looks like Crypto Scam 101. And again, he might have not known that the week's exchange was a scam, right? But okay. Yeah. All right. That should be it then for this live stream. Thank you all for joining, guys. A bit of exposing going on at the end of the live stream, which it is good to be aware of all these channels and all of these exchanges that are. He said he gets paid to promote it. Yeah. That's obvious. I get so many exchange requests for collaboration. I reject all of them. I don't want to deal with Binance, with KuCoin. I don't want to deal with these weird new exchanges that are coming up. So I'm not going to be. That's why I don't promote anything. Realistically, very rarely do I promote anything. Only if I definitely know it's a proper project. Takes a few years, I know too. Exactly. All right. That should be it. Thank you all for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next live stream tomorrow. And then Monday, we'll do a live stream as well because it's Canada Day and we're going to be off. So we'll have more free time this weekend. Thank you and stay safe.